Hello readers, David here. There are a couple of things I want to go over in our lessons today, but first, I think we should begin, as ever, with a story. This is A New Friend. Nevaeh peered out over the choppy sea. She'd never seen waves this big before, but that wasn't really saying much, since she'd only been on the deserted island for 2 weeks. Although Nevaeh was getting used to her fate, things continually surprised her. However, nothing could have prepared her for what she saw later that afternoon. At first, she thought it was a mirage. Maybe I'm seeing things, she said to herself. Nevaeh shook her head and looked again, but he was still there, struggling in the waves. And there was no denying it. Don't ever count on seeing another living creature, they had told her when they ditched her on the island. The waters are cursed. Nothing lives in them. Get used to coconuts. They'll be your only food. And maybe an occasional root or two. Nevaeh was overwhelmed with joy when she realized she was not seeing things, and that a baby sea lion must have been sent to keep her company. "I'm not alone!" Nevaeh screamed as she dove into the waves. But the waves were too powerful, and Nevaeh was tossed around. As she gasped for breath and made her way toward shore, she understood that she would need a better rescue approach. Nevaeh scurried onto a flat rock that jutted out over the sea. She carefully studied the motions of the waves and how they were pushing the baby sea lion around. Then she hurriedly gathered the empty coconut shells she had been saving and attached them to a rope in a circular way. Next, she took her small tarp and attached it in the center of the little makeshift raft. "I'm not sure the sea lion will know what to do," she thought, crossing her fingers. Just before Nevaeh was about to toss the raft into the sea, the rope became untied, and the coconuts slipped off. With determination, Nevaeh restrung the coconuts together. This time, she triple knotted the rope. That should hold. Nevaeh threw the raft into the water, upwind from the sea lion, so it would drift to him. Thankfully, her calculations were correct, and somehow the sea lion understood that he had to climb onto the raft. Now if he will just stay on until he gets over the waves. Strangely, the giant crashing waves suddenly stopped, and Nevaeh was able to pull the sea lion onto shore. The sea lion flapped its flippers, rubbed its nose on Nevaeh, then quickly fell asleep. He'll be hungry when he wakes, Nevaeh thought. But there aren't any fish here. Or are there? It has been a strange day. Nevaeh waded into the now calmer waters and, surprisingly, caught a glimpse of a long, narrow fish. Hooray, she thought. Things are looking up. In order to successfully catch the fish, Nevaeh had to experiment with different hunting techniques. First, she tried scaring the fish into a small enclosed cove. This worked, but the fish managed to slip through Nevaeh's hands as she tried to grab it. Next, Nevaeh tried using coconut flesh as bait. Unfortunately, the fish wasn't interested in coconut. Nevaeh then created a basic net using strong roots from the island. After a little trial and error, Nevaeh was eventually able to net her new friend some dinner. As the sea lion feasted, Nevaeh gazed around the little island. Maybe this place isn't as bad as they made it out to be. Thanks for listening. Cool. Story time's over. Time for analysis!